My first couple trips were an absolute disaster because I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't do any sort of research, so when I went on these trips, I lost hundreds of dollars. I wasted dozens of opportunities to see some awesome things. And overall, I just didn't have as good a time as I could have. Hey everyone, it's Troy from Flow Freely, and today I'm going to be talking to you about first-time traveler tips that you need to know to make sure that your first trip is beautiful. Alright, number one is to let your bank know that you're going on this trip. See, a mistake that I see a lot of people make firsthand is that when they go on a trip overseas or even across the country, they don't let their bank know, so when they go to use their debit card or their credit card, blocked, just like that. So now they don't have access to any of their money. And especially if you're overseas, then you're really screwed, because unless you have some euro on you, I don't know what to tell you. Now you can always call your bank while you're there. Say you're locked out of your debit card, right? You can just call up your bank and have them unlock it for you. But what if it's in the middle of the night? Let's say you land at like 3 in the morning, you're trying to get a taxi or you're trying to get a train ticket or something along those lines. And so you go to pay with your debit card, blocked. You try to call your bank, they're closed. And now you're toast. It's just a few seconds of a call. Hey, I'm going to Paris for the week. I need you to not block my card so I'm not like stranded out there, you feel me? And they'll hook you up just like that. All right, number two, you gotta watch out for local scams. So this one I didn't really take serious all that much when I was doing all my traveling until it actually happened to me a couple times. See, what you wanna do before you leave is to Google common scams in and then type in whatever destination you're going to. So if you're going to Paris, common scams in Paris. And there's gonna be a ton of personal stories of people like getting scammed by people on the street or getting pickpocketed or mugged or different areas to avoid, things like that. And so it's just good information to know. Alright, then tip number 3, don't be afraid to try the local cuisine. Now I've heard stories and I even see other travel bloggers that say things like, see these? Designer. I wouldn't be caught dead eating at a restaurant where the average meal is less than $40 a plate. See, you shouldn't be traveling if you can't afford the highest end restaurants and hotels. Why would I ever go downtown? That's where all the poor people live. You won't be able to have fun on your trip unless you have a lot of money. Don't be like crusty ass Karen. Those mom and pop shops downtown, that's where the money is. And I'm talking delicious money. I'm talking about 40 years of experience kind of money. So don't be afraid to try the local cuisine. Don't be afraid to go into these little hole in the wall places, because you'll be missing out on some excellent food. Alright, number 4, drink a lot of water. Now this doesn't apply just to everyday life. Like, we all know we're supposed to be drinking water every day, a lot of it. This is to you cats that are going to be flying to your destination. Especially really long flights, like 5+ hours. If you've been on a super long flight before, you know it kind of leaves you feeling a little just out of it, you kind of feel sick and tired and just completely out of it. And the reason for that most likely is that you're dehydrated. And now you may think you drink a lot of water, but the fact of the matter is that planes dehydrate you faster than pretty much anything else that isn't like just walking through the Sahara Desert. See, there's no humidity on planes, so all that moisture in the air is gone. Plus you're 30,000 feet up in the air. That air is so thin, so combine that thin air with the dehumidified cabin, you're gonna have a hard time. Alright, and tip number 5, which is my favorite, look for day trips. See, I know a lot of people that love going on trips and just doing whatever. They don't have a plan, they just wander around and stumble upon other things. That's great and all, and more power to them, but I can't do all that. There are so many hidden gems in all these different cities that you need to do research on it. You need to look up things to do in whatever city so that you can really know what you want to do, what you want to see, that you don't just waste your time. Yeah, I can go to Prague and walk around and look at all the different buildings and have no real set schedule and then miss out on a bunch of these historical landmarks or little activities or excursions that they have at local agencies. See, if I just dick around for a week and then I ended up leaving, and then what did I do? I just ate the local food over and over again. I looked at the same buildings over and over again, and I had the same experience over and over again. That's why I'm a huge proprietor for planning trips out ahead of time. TripAdvisor's badass for that. And especially if you find yourself a day trip, now that's a good use of your time and money. And you don't even have to go through these local travel agencies. You can just go on TripAdvisor and look up day trips and be like, oh, that looks pretty interesting, but I'm not gonna book it through that company, I'm just gonna do it myself. And boom, so you don't have to use travel agencies, you don't have to go on these guided tours, you can just use TripAdvisor to get ideas and then still go on that whole trip, do that whole excursion by yourself, so you're still experiencing it for yourself and getting that authentic experience. So yeah, just You know, try to at least do research ahead of time. Try to find some badass day trips because you're gonna see some crazy things and you're gonna be doing some crazy things and you won't be wasting any time. And speaking of wasting time, why don't you scroll down a little bit and hit that subscribe button and then click the bell icon for notifications whenever I upload. And if you're feeling up to it while you're down there, just leave a like and then click share to share this video with all your friends. It'd really help me out and I'd really appreciate it truly. But outside of that, thank you guys for watching and I hope to see you next time.